That was a gun.
I'm not voting.
If we want to build our nation.
The problem with the Somalians.
Just want to experience something else than a black man.
Move on, move
Can't be like a horse with blinkers.
Honestly say, I was about to have
Corrupt
sex and then I pulled
crap,
up.
but it's nice.
Hi, my name is Zikona Mlanjeni. I'm a political science student at the University of Western Cape.
Hi, my name is Phumeza Vena. I work for H2O International. I do service and delivery. Yeah.
I'm Tumeka Kumalo, 24 years old. I'm a senior supervisor at Teletech.
Hi, my name is Misa. I'm a sales assistant at the Waterfront.
Hi, my name is Belinda Mkhwebi.
Hi, my name is Primrose and I'm a poet. I think that South Africans love sensationalism. Anything that can be sensational and can be, like, people can hold on to. Like Julius Malema says the most controversial things that diplomatic politicians won't say. And so for that reason, he has a following, you know. And he keeps on latching on to the fact that he's like Peter Mukaba and he's like all those previous youth leaders. Now, in my view, and I was born in 76, okay? So I'm old enough to have lived both in the old and the new South Africa. And I'm saying that the youth league then had reason to be aggressive because all the political parties had decided that, you know, we need to be aggressive about this thing. Now, in Julius Malema's leadership, all the youth needs is leadership. And I've yet to see a functional ANC youth league, or PAC youth league, or COPE youth league. I think a lot of youth leagues that are in operation now lack the sense of leadership that that old era had. And we have to ask ourselves, why?
I'm not that much into politics, but in my opinion, Julius Malema is not fit even to lead preschool children.
Why?
The guy is a puppet, man. The things he says, I think he lacks like timing. He just says something like at the wrong time. Otherwise, if he can like get his timing right, because sometimes the points he makes are valid, but the timing, or they are irrelevant rather. So for me, Julius Malema, I know he's a youth leader or something, but
He's a leader.
No one speaks on my behalf. I speak for my own. No one speaks on my behalf, so he's not speaking on my own, on my behalf.
But don't you think that we need someone like Julius Malema, though?
Yeah, I think,
absolutely do.
I think his heart is at the right place. He just goes about it the wrong way.
It's like a person who's trying so hard in a way to be a leader or to try to be so perfect, or yeah, a leader. He's just trying so hard to be a leader, and he's looking for people to follow him in everything that he's talking about. So yeah, I'd say that's Julius Malema.
But he's not a leader at all. I just think that he wants to be noticed and he wants to be chosen to be the next president, which will not happen. Yeah. If it happens, I'm out of here.
I'll follow you. Where to?
It's not really about coming out or showing really who you really are, because that defeats the whole game of politics. I think he wants to create a name for himself. He wants followers, and the majority of South Africans at grassroots level are poor. And so he wants to come out as the exposer of the exploiters when he's actually part of that group. So I suppose he wants to create a name for himself, and if he comes out as the hero, the one who exposes the exploiters, then he appears as the voice for the people. But as the people were also very triggered by charisma and sort of persona, and we don't take it upon, especially in South Africa, we don't really educate ourselves about what's happening in the background of everything. We just take anyone who sounds convincing's word, you know? And I suppose that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to come out as a Martin Luther King or something.
Failing at it.
But he wants to be the hero, the person who spoke for the people. You know, it has nothing to do with what he really is.
Yeah, like what he said last week in the news about not creating a country where people who are in power want the resources of the country to be, to own them for themselves, not for the people. Now that is true. Perhaps he needs structure in the way he says things or how he delivers his statements, but what he says is not always
offline.
Yeah, it's not always offline.
I don't know what it'll take for this to change, but there is no more a spirit of team playing. It's all about where you can get as an individual, but you use the people, of course. You need people who are going to push you up there, and that's what's so sad, because before it was I don't know whether to believe whether those people who have made it now in politics used social issues, advocated social issues in order to get to the top, or whether they were really passionate about those things, because it's an opportunistic world out there.
And mostly it's not people that just came up after the past apartheid era. It's people who were fighting for the struggle, and we got the freedom, and it's the same people that, like Z is saying now, it's the same people that when they get to the positions that they want to be, now they want to negotiate and everything else. It's not like people who just come out and they don't know anything about the struggle and whatever. It's the very same people that used unity to strike, to fight the struggle of apartheid, and it's the very same people now that are messing up this country.
Julius Malema is associated with 20 companies. 20 companies. And he's slamming tenders. Yeah. He's slamming like all other black people that have tenders. And I'm saying, okay, do you acquire all these assets first? And do you become a political elite first? And then be in a position where you feel like you're indispensable? Which is what I was saying about that book that Moelatsi Mbeki wrote, Architects of Poverty. Everybody, I believe him to be a political elite. I believe him to be a wealthy person. But he's saying that political elitism will basically make us become like Zimbabwe. And yes, I hear his argument. But this is a person who himself is a political elite and a wealthy businessman. So is he in a position to say that to us? We have nothing. We are poor. And we want our government to work for us so that we can work with our government. So if we have someone like Moelatsi Mbeki saying those things to us, for me it doesn't make sense, because then does that mean I must be a wealthy person first and then slam the very thing that makes me rich? Or what does that mean,
I think our leaders now, they don't have a vision. They don't have a goal. So that's why they just say anything that they want, or they just leaders just for themselves, to be to have power, to have money and everything. So not really I do like Julius Malema. He's an honest person. The only thing that I like about him is just he's honest.
Very debatable.
Yeah, he's just honest. He says what we keep quiet about, and he just speaks his mind. So that's what I like about him. But I think our leaders, we need to have a vision. They used to have a vision before, when we said one democracy, one this and this and this. But now we don't have a goal.
All African countries have failed. They have failed dismally in terms of leadership. So what do? You look elsewhere. So in a way, as Africa, we are looking elsewhere for other people's standards to impose on ourselves so that we don't fail in leadership. Ghana, Idi Amin Dada, Mugabe, Zimbabwe, and the list is endless. There's constant problems in Africa. So if we are saying that we should have a standard, what are we basing the standard on? Do you know what I mean? And also, what is working elsewhere? Democracy seems to be kind of working. And if we want to be a working country, we're going to take the next best thing that we think is working, and we're going to try and inflict it upon ourselves. And I think democracy sadly is one of those things that are inflicted on us.
I like Thabo Mbeki because he always advocates the notion of African solutions for African problems. And until we gain that confidence in ourselves that we are good enough for ourselves, nothing is going to completely go right. That is why it's taking us such a long time to get where we're set to get.
No, I just want to ask Pumeza, because he's the only boy here. Do you think that women are empowered now?
Women.
I'd say the women are empowered from 94 and all that. Because look, if you look at the cars that they're driving. I mean, they drive the latest cars. Okay, some have like higher positions in some companies. Some run their own businesses. Some are independent. So I would say that women are empowered.
And I think it's also by giving a chance. I think now we as women, we are given a chance to explore ourselves and to give what we have. Like before, it was like only men can do this, not a woman. But now it's like, no, go ahead. Do you have more experience in this? Go ahead, you can do it. So I think based on that, we as women are given a chance to say whatever we want to say, to do whatever we want to do. It's actually helping us to explore more as women, and it's helping us.
I think women have rights, a whole lot of rights, and there are no more boundaries.
Too many rights.
What is that supposed to mean?
Yeah, exactly. I'd like to know. What does that mean? What does that mean, though? What does that mean? I'd like to know that. What do you mean too many rights? As opposed to what?
As opposed to men, I mean, women have more rights than men.
What rights do I have that you don't have?
Jeez, plenty.
What?
Okay, just to name a few. If a man is being abused by his wife or girlfriend, whatever, and then he goes and report the case, there won't be much action that's gonna be taken. But if it's the other way around, a woman being abused by her boyfriend or whatever, then you're in trouble.
This attitude that women have too many rights comes from the fact that women are now entering territories that are making men feel uncomfortable. And now they feel that women need to be put in their place. Or rather, I'm concerned with the whole notion that there's a place for women.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Who decides on that place? Who decides on that place?
Because,
you know?
I think, as I was saying before, women have a whole lot of rights and less boundaries now, but we're not empowered per se. You know, we do not empower ourselves because we feel like, with the whole thing about culture as well, we still feel less, you know? We still feel like, yeah, sure, I can do some things, you know, or I can get wherever now. There are no more those boundaries, but can I really? Type of thing. And you know, what is culture, you know? And what is leadership? Going back to the Zuma thing, you know, culture changes. And culture is created in society, but what is society? It is made up of individuals. And leadership is when you can say that, you know what, I'm proudly cultural or whatever, even if your culture says that we kill and we whatever, all the bad things, you know, but you are a leader, even if you don't stand on a podium, you're a leader when you can say that I embrace certain things, but I abandon anything that no longer makes sense. You know? And I think we lack that as women, because we still have that thing that we want to be accepted. So okay, let me not step on anyone's shoe.
Controversial.
You know? Let me be what a woman is supposed to be.
But also, if you have a lot of people in your traditional circles that still question you when you are not being like other women, then there is that pressure for you to conform to things that you don't necessarily believe in. I mean, I know people who have degrees upon degrees and upon degrees, and I know they don't want to be peeling potatoes in the kitchen. But if everybody else is peeling potatoes in the kitchen, they're going to feel like they should be doing that, you know? And I know a lot of people who are 35 and 36 who are saying that, actually, my next goal is to visit a different country so that I can come back and empower other people. And some people look at them like, you know, and then they feel like, well, maybe I should be saying that I want to have children and I want to get married. And, you know, I should be saying things like that, you know, because society is expecting women of that certain age and that certain culture to be that way. And I'm saying, in order for you to change a situation, you need to be able to substantiate what you are about, and to be able to say that I'm not comfortable with you treating me that way because I don't want to be that way, without this whole thing of being disrespectful about it. But I really think that people should know where you stand. You know, it's the only way that you can be a leader. And to go back to your point about culture that changes, and culture is informed by what we do, by the things we do.
So how do we create a culture of strong individuality within our social groups or sense of belonging? But how do we go about creating a culture that says that, you know what, you belong to the bigger circle, but you are an individual that makes that bigger circle, you know? Like, how do we go about that?
You dwell in the presence of like-mindedness.
My dream is to be able to wake up every day and impact lives in whatever that I do, you know?
My dream is to be content in life. Not be rich, but not be poor, but afford. If you want anything, if I want something, I can just get it like that, and be able to provide for my family.
My dream is to be successful, and to be successful to be able to bring back to my society.
I would like for us, for the black teenagers, not to feel that when you want to do something, you have to go to town, or when you apply for a job, you have to go to town. I would like them to do their things in their own society, and that's my dream.
My dream is really to teach young women like myself and younger what it means to be a woman who is an asset to this country.
My dream is to live in an integrated society where we can look at each other beyond race, religion, and gender. And my dream is to teach as many unprivileged children to read and write. And my dream is to empower those that are close to me as much as I can. Yeah.